Hey, before you go, quick question. Do you have a signature speech? You know, that one go-to talk that not only wows your audience, but also grows your business every time you deliver it? If you don't, or if yours could use a little polishing up, my program, In Demand Signature Speech, is designed to help you create a talk that's clear, impactful, and 100% you. No cookie cutter scripts here, just a proven framework that works every time. And guess what? The waitlist is open. Joining gets you early access, exclusive bonuses, and the first chance to snag your spot when the doors do open. So if 2025 is the year that you finally step into the spotlight and grow your visibility through speaking, head on over to speakandstandout.com/SS for signature speech and get on the waitlist now. Your audience is waiting. Let's make your message unforgettable.
Hi, this is Adam Olin, CEO of Russell & Spark, a boutique branding and marketing firm. After 25 years in creative agencies, I realized that the very best reviews came from my story training sessions. So I turned them into a keynote, but I didn't know how to break into speaking. I'm so glad I found Laurie-Ann Be in Demand podcast and joined her community of speaking professionals. From book publishing to sales strategies to the details that distinguish true professionals, it's been invaluable. Even if you can't get into her exclusive community calls, you can still listen to the podcast.
Welcome back to Be in Demand, and we are currently in the middle of our book writing series. So if you haven't listened to the other two episodes before this, I would highly recommend that you listen to 338 and 340. Today, I want to dive into an inner circle. The inner circle when you are writing a book. Now, there are two things that I recommend to all of my clients, and one of them is to have an inner circle. And I've also shared this with some other friends who've used traditional publishers. And it's a great way to have this small group of people that are very intimately involved with your book writing. And what I mean by that is you are writing everything, but sometimes you can be so in your book that you don't see where you're skipping over things. Something might not make sense to your reader. In your head, everything makes perfect sense, but sometimes we share it with other people. And it's like, oh, I see what you're saying. I skipped over something. I missed that fact. So having this intimate group of people who are going to basically be reading your book as you're finishing each section, each chapter, and allowing them to give you their thoughts. Now, I've done this with a private Facebook group, and this is what I recommend to my clients as well. Do a special invite to people that you know will actually do this for you and help you out with this. And really reinforce with them that they do not need to edit. Their job is not to worry about the spelling mistakes, not to worry about the grammar. All you're asking for is what questions come up for you while you're reading this. Where am I not making sense? Where am I rambling on? Just getting their opinions as the reader. I would say like about 5 to 6 people if you can. Find them, find some sort of an intimate way to share the information with them. That can be a Facebook group. It could be some sort of a private community, just somewhere that you can be sharing documents. They can read the documents. They can give you their feedback. I typically tell people to use like some sort of a Google Doc so that they can give their feedback. But here's the thing, when using like a Google Doc, I don't want the other members of the inner circle to see what everybody else is saying. So I would always tell them to make a copy of the document so that they can make their comments in the Google Doc and then share that back with you. And remember, every piece of feedback you don't have to take, but let's see if there's a common theme with all of the members of your inner circle. You're also going to ask your inner circle people towards the end if they would write a testimonial for the book. And that testimonial is actually going to go in the beginning of the book. And then on your soft launch date, on I'm just going to pick any random day, happens to be April 3rd, and your inner circle knows about April 3rd. So you're encouraging them, like, could you go and buy the book on this particular day? It's 99 cents. And if you would leave your testimonial, and the testimonial can be the exact same one you have for inside the book. And you could be writing just these emails to people and say, here was your testimonial that was printed inside the book. If you could just copy and paste this into Amazon after you become a verified buyer. And these are your friends, so they're going to do this. And then the second part of this is also to take your audience along the ride. Let them know that you're writing a book. Let them know that they can get on a wait list so they're the first to know when your book is available. Tell people over on Instagram, over on LinkedIn, wherever it is that you hang out the most, bring your audience with you. They will get excited. That way, you're not launching your book and it's like, oh my God, I had no idea that you were even writing a book. And then here it is. And now I'm seeing all these emails about this book. Take them along the journey of writing the book. Hey, everybody. And it could be as simple as like you just get on the wait list. And then maybe like once a week, you are sharing with this wait list, this group of people who have raised their hand to say, I'm interested in knowing more about this book. Maybe because they want to write a book. Maybe they're following your process. But you could share with them like, oh, I'm having a little hard time with this, or we're up to the cover. Help me choose which cover it is. Just take your audience on the journey with you. People love that behind the scenes stuff. And the other thing that I did with my first book was I let other people decide on the cover because I realized that I wrote the book and I was a little biased about the book. And here's was exactly what I did for my very first book. I found somebody that I liked over on like Fiverr who knew a lot about Amazon book covers and the PDFs and how like the thickness and all these margins and like a mumble jumble for me. He knew what the story was about. He knew the place where it took place, which is why there's 2 coffee cups on the cover. And I went to spin class one day. And if you've ever been to a spin class, people always show up a little bit early. They're setting up their bikes. I went in with 6 different covers. And I said to people, this was before class started, who here reads personal development books? And a handful of people would raise their hand, and I would go over to them and say, which of these covers would you buy? Because I know that we really do judge a book by its cover. So I just started taking little votes. And that was how I ended up picking the one cover that this designer created for me. So I didn't pick it. My audience picked the cover. And for my second book, I actually used 99 Design because then I got a bunch of people to be submitting book cover ideas. And then I just shared it with my audience and everybody went and voted. So it was another great way to bring your audience on the journey to helping you craft this book. I have my inner circle that was helping me with the understanding the writing and making sure that I was writing in a clear, concise manner. And then you've got your audience that is like, oh, Laurie-Ann's writing a book. She's up to this chapter. She's teaching about this lesson, and then it's just like, hey, here's the cover. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like people they feel part of a process when you're asking them their opinion. And again, people just love the behind the scenes stuff, especially when you're struggling, especially when you figure something out. The bottom line here is take your audience on the journey with you. Don't be afraid, and certainly do not feel like you have to keep it a secret until it's done. Nothing will help you get this book finished than knowing that you are talking about it publicly and you are sharing it with others, because that is the best form of accountability. And if you have any questions about how to write the right book or how to write with the end in mind, or maybe even like what needs to be included, book a speaker success call with me. Let's talk about your book and how it works in conjunction with your business, how we can make your book a client lead magnet. So that link is down below, because sometimes having a second set of ears or a second set of eyes on your book idea or your outline is exactly what you need. So until next week, I want you to be in demand.